how do we see the role of Europe in a global context, or Europe itself has so many gifts. So it's with every crisis, it also creates an opportunity, to share a gift, to do that. To how do we respond to that?
Well, how was Europe or the European Union? How did it start? It started actually with Jean Monnet after their First World War, and it was concretized after the Second World War. So having these terrible wars in Europe, having created so many people to die, and I mean, sometimes one cannot believe that we human beings do these things to each other. I saw once a film in the International Red Cross about the First World War. It's so absurd seeing the killing going on, and then there is a white flag when the wounded ones are being taken out, and then they are queued. I mean, what a waste. To kill first each other, when you look from another perspective, and then you have to do all this healing again, I mean, what is that? I have sometimes even a difficulty that we were able to do this in such, how do I say, vast way, involving the whole Europe, the whole world, in war. It's in a way so crazy and abnormal. So I hope we learn more and more to understand that we have much better ways. So Europe started to grow on the ground of these experiences. And I was just yesterday trying to find out what the main ethics or guidelines of the European Union are, and they're beautiful. It's about the dignity of the human being. It's about having the same rights. It's about also having men and women the same rights. It's about overcoming poverty. It's about having the possibility of free sharing through a market, which I think nowadays it is too much in an economical way rooted, that we should change. But there are some really fundamental beauty in the common ground where it was built upon. So that is very important to see it and to honor it, and also in a way to honor all the people that have helped to build it up till nowadays, even with the mistakes. Even all our ancestors, fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, who have helped to support this idea of transnational community, is a big step. And so I think that the European Union could be, in the global context, an example how transnational communities could work together, help each other, respecting their own culture, their specific gifts they have to bring into the community, at the same time facilitating the ways of a good life for everybody, not only for a few, or excluding half of the South world, but that, I think, would be the gift of Europe if we achieve that in a further way. Nowadays, the deeper idea of the European Union is in a way endangered. We have Brexit, as you see, so and we have tendency in France, in Netherlands, we have Hungary, where you have a polarization taking place again, stronger, between nationalistic tendencies and also the left wing that does not yet really know how to move. But this constellation is for me rather an expression of not really knowing what could be a next step, because a next step would have to overcome the old framework. So what we see is still a reaction of the challenges within the old framework. And that will not work. That will create a lot of problems. We are so interrelated on every level, globally, with money systems, with technology, with internet, with banking systems, and. It is not possible to really go back and do the separation. I think we have to understand that for me a future way of handling the whole situation is that we will be more autonomous locally, have much more to decide. We have also technology that can be overseen by smaller units. At the same time, we have certain global issues where we have to cooperate in a bigger scale. So that we need new models, new creativity, and you also see our socialistic parties, for example, they are still circling around the old ideas, and they still come out of separation. And the right wing, it's the same, it's a different color. And so I think that what we are involved in, and many young people and more people that are going deeper, asking what is really the matter, what is the root of all that, and how can we solve it? We come to this sentence, our heart knows about a better world, and we know also that we are able to create it. So we have locally, all over the world, many projects, many very interesting, new creativity sprouting everywhere, but it's under the radar. What we read in the newspapers in Europe is more about the dramatic side, and we don't hear much what is already building up. So one idea of mine would be that it would be wonderful if the people in Europe that are already trying out, finding out new ways of living, that they come together and become visible and share their experience, their knowledge, learn from each other, start to cooperate more, start to co-create more and celebrate. So that is one idea. The other idea is because these people are in a way, how can I say, in one way they're privileged. That they have found a way to groups like that they are intelligent enough to ask these deep questions, or that they have experiences where they know it's not going the future in the same linear way we were taught till now, that there must be a shift, and they understand that. These are in a way privileged people, and they have also a certain responsibility for the whole. And then we have all these people living in the countryside, living in villages, because most of them are maybe less in contact with new ideas or have less a chance. So the idea is also that we start to do walks where we just very simply walk 20 kilometers or something like that. Sri M does that among others in India or other countries. We did it once in Israel also. And start just to talk about the oneness, the unity from heart to heart, but the unity also of our people, the unity of the European community, at the same time really respecting the differences in language, in culture, in religion, but focusing, emphasizing really one. So the walk in a way helps to come in contact with just the everyday people, where they have maybe less possibilities to meet and see other people that have other ideas. And I think it would be wonderful to have just dialogues, exchanges, not wanting anything from these people, just sharing. And so I think it would be a contribution really, first to be aware once more of the fundament of the European Union, which has such a beauty in itself. And also respecting and honoring everybody that has meanwhile helped to build that up. Then I think there is still a lot of collective forgiveness work to do. The wounds of the Second World War, it's still there. I can see talking sometimes with some people or doing this big constellation work in Hungary with 450 people representing the European countries. You could see there are still issues of people having suffered or having done harm to others, which they never speak about it in their families or with their friends. And these wounds or shame or schuld, I don't know this word in English, it is an issue that has to be looked at on a collective level and to really forgive each other. That is still work that has to be done. At the same time, to bring in the realm, the new possibilities we have in co-creation, in cooperation, with all the technologies we are able to use, the best of the whole world, bringing together is available for us nowadays, and putting together in a way that the harmony, the bigger harmony of all that is, can really emerge in our words, thinking and deeds, and create heaven on earth.